First discovered in 1983, the Maari field is currently the largest oil field ever found in New Zealand, with oil volumes in the ground estimated at 140 million barrels, and with recoverable quantities of about 50 million barrels. Situated 80 kilometres off the west coast of New Zealand's North Island and located in 100 metres of water, this location in the Tasman Sea can experience gale force winds of 80 knots and swells exceeding 7 metres. Owned by a joint venture consisting of OMV New Zealand with a 69% share, Todd Maari Limited with 16%, Horizon Oil International Limited at 10%, and Q Taranaki Proprietary Limited with 5%, the environmental conditions and the nature of the deposit created numerous challenges requiring new technologies and pioneering applications. Operated by OMV, development of the field began following the partners' investment decision in November 2005 with the construction of a self-installing wellhead platform establishment in Malaysia. This unique platform design is only the third of its kind in the world, and at 150 metres, the tallest built to date. From its fabrication site in central Malaysia, the platform was sailed to the sheltered Admiralty Bay at the top of New Zealand's South Island, on board the Blue Marlin, the largest semi-submersible transport vessel in the world. There, the Blue Marlin partially submerged herself, allowing the platform to float freely. Named Tiro Tiro Moana, the platform was then towed to the field location and manoeuvred into position by two powerful ocean-going tugs, the Salvicidoi and the Salveritas. Positioned over the southwestern flank of the Maari field, the platform was installed by lowering the steel gravity base to the sea floor 100 metres below. Water was then pumped from the base cavity to provide suction to the seabed. Once the base was secure, the platform deck was raised some 20 metres above the water via a jacking system to its final position. Meanwhile, back up in Singapore, the oil tanker Andaman Sea was being converted by Tanker Pacific into a floating production, storage and offloading facility known as an FPSO. It was renamed Raroa, a name kindly provided by Ngāti Ruanui and Ngārauru, the two local Māori tribes OMV consulted with on a voluntary basis from early on in the project and onwards. The FPSO left Singapore in April 2008 and sailed under her own steam to New Zealand to be anchored off the Maari field some 1.5 kilometres from the wellhead platform. The Raroa FPSO is held in position by 8 pile anchors, each 26 metres long and 84 inches in diameter. The 8 anchors are attached to a single point system that allows the Raroa to swing 360 degrees around the buoy, depending on wind and current conditions. An umbilical links the platform to the FPSO to provide high voltage power, communications and production chemicals. The communications cable allows full control, monitoring and shutdown of the wellhead platform from the FPSO control room. This remote control is essential because the platform is normally unmanned. It can, however, accommodate up to 30 people during maintenance campaigns and well workovers. From the platform, 2 10-inch subsea flow lines convey the combined production flow from all wells to the FPSO. And from the FPSO, an 8-inch flow line provides heated water to the 3 injection wells. These flow lines were installed in February 2008 by the vessel Toisa Proteus. With the wellhead platform in position, the Ensco 107 jack-up drilling rig was then positioned alongside, and its drilling derrick cantilevered out over the wellhead platform. In November 2008, the Ensco 107 then kicked off the Maari development drilling program with 5 production wells and 3 for water injection. The oil production wells were drilled horizontally for a distance of up to 2 kilometres into the reservoir, with 1 as a bilateral well. Of the 3 water injection wells, 2 were drilled at the field's flanks and 1 in the centre to give additional pressure support to the reservoir, as well as acting to sweep oil into the production wells. Due to the successful drilling of the Maari wells, the joint venture decided to add 2 more wells to the program. The first was a production well into the oil-bearing reservoir located just 50 metres vertically above the main Maari field. The second additional well targeted a satellite structure to the southwest of Maari. This well, known as Manaia 1, had a total length of about 8 kilometres, setting a new record for New Zealand drilling. First oil flowed in February 2009, a milestone achieved more than 25 years after its discovery. For the next 8 months, a simultaneous operations scheme of producing and completing the drilling of the wells was followed. In October 2009, the drilling program was completed, and after undertaking drilling operations for another joint venture, the Insco 107 was towed to Admiralty Bay near Nelson in mid-December, where it was floated onto the specialist heavy transport vessel, the MV Target. This involved the ship partially submerging to allow the rig to be towed into place and then resurfacing with the rig on its deck. On the 23rd of December 2009, having secured the Insco 107 on its deck, the MV Target set sail for Singapore. Following the departure of the drilling rig, the process of installing the workover unit on the wellhead platform began. The workover unit is a small drilling unit capable of performing well interventions in the event a problem occurs with any of the downhole equipment in the wells. The installation and commissioning of the workover unit is expected to be completed in March 2010. Once on board the FPSO, the oil product from the wells undergoes separation, stabilisation and dehydration before being stored in heated tanks. The FPSO generates power for both the ship and the wellhead platform, with its own turbine generators, and all shipboard and platform operations are overseen from the central control room. The FPSO is home to around 30 personnel, working 12-hour shifts for up to 3 weeks at a time. While most personnel and small goods are helicoptered out to the FPSO, heavy goods and machinery are brought out to the Raroa by supply vessels. The Raroa's oil tanks are capable of holding some 600,000 barrels of oil. When they're full, an offtake tanker is manoeuvred in position behind the FPSO and the oil is transferred. With an initial production of more than 40,000 barrels of oil per day exceeding pre-development expectations, the field is anticipated to stay in production for the next 10 to 15 years. At that time, the platform will be decommissioned, the Raroa will be sailed away and the subsea lines will be recovered, leaving a minimum impact on the environment. The Maari field development has been a feat of human engineering and ingenuity in some of the most demanding conditions in the world. The Maari project delivered on its challenging goals. The professional contributions of all parties involved and the application of pioneering technologies enabled the commercialisation of an asset discovered more than a quarter of a century ago. The benefits from the Maari development project and the long-term production operations are of significance to the Maari joint venture partners, the local industries and communities, and the country of New Zealand.